Terrence Bud Crawford is looking to make his claim in the history books of boxing, as well as his most lucrative payday yet against Canelo Alvarez. Saul Canelo Alvarez is looking for an opportunity to strike gold again in dealing with the Saudis. There was a loophole where it may not take place because Jake Paul came into the picture, but was it a ploy by Canelo all along, or was it more of a negotiation tactic to ensure that something be netted by Canelo, seeing that he feels he's the one to risk it all? Let's talk about this and a little bit more. When you think about these two names in the sport of boxing, Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford, they're two of the top names of this era in the sport, with Bud Crawford being considered the entire duration, pound for pound, the best. There have been others that they've tried to place in front of him throughout this era of which he has been pound for pound, and a lot of them have come and gone. A lot of them have risen and fallen by the wayside, while he remains a common state. And such is the case as he has decided to try to challenge Canelo, considerably the last of who was at that top, although he had a setback having popped dirty for performance-enhancing drugs. The other side still considers Canelo a top pound-for-pound fighter. However, Crawford understands this, even to the notion that before he had taken on Errol Spence Jr., Canelo had plans to face Errol. Now, when Bud emerged as the victor in that fight, Canelo turned his attentions elsewhere, while Bud eyed the prize of Alvarez. And so, while Bud was eyeing Alvarez, there was another fighter in Alvarez's own division, and that was David Benavidez. He who wanted the opportunity to face Canelo, even though he had lost his title on the scales, and Canelo swooped in to pick up that stripped title from Benavidez, but didn't want to face Benavidez. And the sanctioning bodies even allowed Canelo to continue to evade Benavidez, though they put him through a number of sanctioned title eliminator bouts. This went on for a few years. And even now that Benavidez has moved up and beyond the division to 175, Canelo is still trying to find a way to make those huge paydays, enlisting the conversation and recently signing to the Saudis of the Riyadh season events. Leave it to Turki Al-Sheikh, who over the past 48 hours came out to explain exactly what is the case and what's going on with Canelo having signed with him. Here's just a sample of what he had to offer.
Very last second on last evening, Thursday night, you come in and announce the 4-fight deal to have Canelo Alvarez fight in Riyadh. on May, and of course the big super fight against Terrence Crawford in September. How did it all come together, and how did you salvage everything at the last minute?
First of all, it's a pleasure to be with you. Second, the story starts from London in the ceremony of the ring. I meet Canelo there, and we get to know each other, and we discovered both that's what the problem is, the people in the middle all the time. You can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Then we decide to talk directly together. Then we have agreements to have 3 fights between Riyadh Season and Canelo. It starts from September, him against the legend Crawford. And I think this is the biggest fight in boxing in this time.
For sure.
And maybe forever, we don't know. Then we will have another fight. It is open between February until May 26. And third fight in March, in September to October 26. And he said to us, asked us, he doesn't want to announce it until he announced and finished the deal about the May fight. He wants to fight in May. And he asked us if we are interested to have this fight. We say to him, it depends about who against and the situation in this fight. But we say to him, please, brother, choose great fight, because we are building for the big fight. Him and Crawford accept to fight in Saudi Arabia, the big fight. But we as a Riyadh Season know how is big this fight, and also how is important, especially in America. For that, we prefer to do it in Vegas. This is the only condition. Then, in the last 2 weeks, we start to hear the rumors about this fight. And in the last 48 hours, we heard it is close. Then it is not for our benefit, because we are building the big fight against Crawford. We want him to fight, good fight, great fight in May.
Now you see, when Turkey speaks, and he's trying to remain respectful because he is trying to conduct business here. He wants Canelo to step up and face quality opposition at the end of the day. Yes, he will have signed him to a 4-fight deal, and Crawford is a part of that deal beginning in September of 2025. But there is a fight date that Canelo wants to meet in May of this year, and also going from February to May of next year for the 3rd fight. And then the 4th fight will be in fall, September of 2026. Quality opposition is what Turkey is trying to say respectfully. We're not letting you just have easy paydays. We're not just letting you join in and face whomever you want on our dime. And let's not forget this. Turkey has invested in DAZN. So even with Canelo fighting on DAZN, something has changed here. Because remember, just as he had cleaned the swamp at PBC and their budget, and he had done similar with DAZN on a previous contract dealing with them, fighting the fighters from the UK, like Billy Joe Saunders and John Ryder, Callum Smith. Now Canelo has to fight top opposition. And though the name of David Benavidez is not mentioned as of yet, there's going to be some way that Benavidez becomes a part of this situation, because his fight February 1st of 2025 against David Morrell was still a PBC promotion. However, PBC has partnered with the Saudis as well. So the doors are closing in on Canelo. The cap that's in the title of this video has been he being able to seemingly choose whomever he wants to face and go up against. He seemingly being in control of things, but now being on DAZN, where he has been promoted through Matchroom on DAZN. Turkey has invested in DAZN. He has invested in PBC. He has invested in other fighters who are out there, and it's time for Canelo to make his claim against quality opposition. He is not going to be able to just go out there and face whomever he wants and take home and rake in all of these huge sums, but never put anything on the line. And lastly, let's not forget that since Turkey has purchased Ring magazine and the Ring titles, fighters who are fighting on Riyadh season events, when they come out of those champion fights, they are ring belt title holders. And that is really taken away from the sanctioning bodies, because if you're fighting in Riyadh events and you become a ring champion, you're pretty much the best in the world. Right now at heavyweight, Alexander Usyk has that. Right now at cruiserweight, Jai Opataya has it. Coming up on the 22nd of this month, February, Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev are fighting a rematch in which the winner of that will have it. So that's the example that is being set here. And a lot of people are not paying attention. It could seem like a monopoly, but it's a consolidation of bringing together the best fighting the best. And Canelo may have think he one-upped Turkey by using the Jake Paul situation for negotiation. But what he has no control over is the future and what the future holds, because they are not going to put on an event that is going to take steps backwards from what they've been progressively moving toward since the inception of Riyadh season events introduced to the boxing public. I love the chess moves that Turkey is making, and I love the way he is articulating, because he's being respectful. But this is not checkers any longer. And Canelo Alvarez is going to have to respect the game. Bud Crawford is ready to do his part. Some people think this is a cash out for him, but that man believes that this is truly his era. And he believes that one thing that can really certify that is to eliminate this one fighter whom others have always dictated and presented as the man out there. In order to be the man, you have to beat the man. And that's what Crawford wants to do in the ring. That's some outstanding chessmanship there. And Crawford didn't negotiate a whole bunch of deals with Turkey for other fights, because he knows exactly what he's going after: legitimacy and legacy. But what do you think? This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about this editorial. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.